traders, neighbors, and friends. Rick Sadler here with Hit and Run Candlesticks. How are you doing today? Quick reminder, if you subscribe and click that bell, you'll be one of the first to be notified when we put a new YouTube video out there. Also, just below the video, there's some little text that reads Show More. If you click on that Show More text, then you'll see down below that we have some free stuff to offer. And I think there's a link that sends you to a page. I think it says free stuff, something like that. Will lead you to a page on our website. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what's there right now, but there's a free J-Hook ebook. I know that we've got about 6 more that we're going to be adding. I'll try to get those added this weekend. And you're welcome to go over there, click on them, download them. They're yours for free. And anyway, thanks a bunch. Also, hey, if you like the video today, please give us a thumbs up. That shows us that you like it. It also helps the channel. And then leave any comments you like. You guys all take care. I'll be back in just 10 seconds, and we'll start looking at some charts and what the market might be up to. Well, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday to you. Morning, Gregor, Anthony, Jim, Joe, Larry, Al. Is it Idura? Is that what it is? Jimmy? Hey, Chuck, Gavin. Good morning and happy Friday, April 8th, 2022. Hope everybody's doing well. All righty, let's check out some charts and more charts and more charts. I do want to remind everybody that anything we look at is not a recommendation to buy, and it's very important that everybody does their own due diligence with trading. This is so very important. Also, there was one more thing I was going to say. Can't remember it. Well, let's just get started. I'll think about it in the middle somewhere, I'm sure. Alrighty, let's start with a SPY here. So yesterday, I'm going to move this over a little bit. Yesterday, we popped down a little bit. We actually ended up with a looks like a higher low or tweezer bottom maybe. Let's see here. A low 443.53, a low 443.47, so 6 pennies from a tweezer bottom here. Go Bulls. I think yesterday was a nice move. I like that. I know one thing that we talked about a couple of days ago. I forget which day it was. I forget which day exactly it was. About a possible snapback back up like this. And it's trying. It's not quite there yet, but it is trying. As long as the, you know what, I'm not set. Am I on? There we go. There you go. I'm happier now. As long as the trend indicator stays red, which I think it's going to pop green this morning. Whether or not it will stay that way, we just don't know that for sure. But as long as we're red on the trend indicator, those dots, I'll be very cautious. In fact, very limited on buying anything long if price is in this area. I'm not really going to jump into anything short for 2 reasons. Not to say that I might not put a short on. First reason is it's Friday. I would rather unwind my account a little bit, get a little bit closer to cash, fewer positions, just so I limit risk out there. The other reason is price is holding above the 50-period moving average. And honestly, I have a problem shorting when we're set up in a rally and a flag. I mean, if we just take that chart, we can come over here just to a naked chart. There we go. Probably should have had this fixed for you. We can come over to a naked chart, and that's all that is. If you take all the noise away, outside of just looking for support and resistance, we're set up in a flag right here. If we run over there, there's a little support right in this area. If we continue to move over, see how we start putting in a little bit of support over here, right there. So I have a real tough time being overly short when the chart looks like this. However, if the price action starts to drop through that 50 period moving average here, then that would be a different story, complete different story. We start moving and holding over the T line, then that's going to be a good move for me for longs, especially if we can hold that toward the end of the day. The diamonds, a little bit similar, a little bit. They seem like they've haven't pulled back quite as much. The steepness of that pullback is not quite as much. And you can see how they found support right there at that 50 period moving average. So I think the big thing for the diamonds is to get above the 200. The 200 simple is this red line right here. So I think that's going to be the big ticket for the diamonds. Move above that 200, and let's just do this. Let's just, maybe today, maybe Monday. Kind of hard to say exactly how we're going to end up today. But if that happens, look at the chart pattern that we've got developed. And I got to tell you, I get it. There's a lot of bad news out there, and there's a lot of reasons to be having shorts on the watch list. A lot of reasons to have your finger on the short button. I get it. There's a ton of reasons out there, but as a technician of the charts, I'm looking at this technically, and I'm seeing that while the bulls and the bears argue, the bulls and bears are trying to determine the direction of the market. I'm not seeing where the bears have lots and lots of control. I'm not really seeing where the bulls are doing a great deal better, but they are trying to lift us up right now. So we'll be watching that. Qs, try that again. Qs, the voice command is not working. Qs. You know, I had somebody ask me the other day, because I say that sometimes. They say, hey, does TC2000 have voice command? No, it doesn't. It just seems like every time I type something, I say it out loud. And during the day, too. And my fingers don't hit the keys, so I always just, well, this darn voice command's not working. So the Qs, once again, we're finding some support on that 50 period moving average. That's going to need to hold. We start dropping below that 50 period moving average, and then I see where those shorts could really start working. So just keep an eye on what price does. One way to look at this chart is you could put a line here at the bottom of yesterday's candle right here at the 50. Now here's price action up here. I'm going to put it with that body right in here, and anything in this area here is just a whole lot of noise. It's very tradable for some people if that's your thing, but just a whole lot of noise. And ultimately what we're looking for is a clue, a signal of sorts. That could be a signal, and that could be a signal. Whether it happens here or right here, it doesn't matter. That could be a signal, and that's what we want to watch for. This is a pretty tight range. It's pretty hard to trade in a tight range like that. However, some people do it, and they do it well sometimes. Sometimes. IWM is not doing anything very well here. They've actually dropped below the 50 period moving average. And I did take a IWM put yesterday, made a little money on that, closed it out, just a simple one-day trade. Took that off the table. All of a sudden, we get a couple of these doji-looking candles down here, and one has to just wonder, well, are we playing this game? are we going to do something like this? Not to say that today's the day it moves up. It could, waltz like that and then maybe move up. It could also move up here, hit resistance, and run right to that downside. Very important. Keep our eyes on our price and resistance. Keep eyes on the price action. Draw lines. Um, I like to use the trend indicator. This is um, in my little tiny toolbox. I have a great big toolbox, and then I have a little toolbox that goes with me everywhere. And this is one of those little tools in that toolbox that goes with me everywhere. It's real easy to determine the trend based on my trading. Based on my trading, I've just simply determined that this dotted red and green, which is nothing more than the 17 exponential moving average. It's nothing fancy at all. I've just determined that that works really well for me when I'm looking at well, should I buy above that? Yes. Should I long? Should I buy long down here? No. Should I buy short down here? Yes. So it's just a good little stay in your lane, and we drive on the right side of the road, and you stay on that right side of the road. As long as you stay in your lane and use this as a that center line, then it just keeps you kind of on the straight and narrow. Take a look at VIX real quick. VIX. So the VIX, we've been in a big downtrend here, and the VIX is trying to move up. For little bottoms, I have to say that's a pretty nice little bottom right there. So that kind of concerns me a tad, just a little bit. Here we've popped up and we're resting above the 200 period moving average and the T line. We move up and we turn those dots green. That's going to give me a bit of anxiety, to be honest with you. And I'll have to look for some shorts if that happens. I've got a stack of them over here ready to go when the time comes, and we'll certainly post them out in the room on the members app when that happens. So we'll do that. What else was there? Oh, I got asked a lot yesterday. T2122, wrong chart. There we go. I was asked a lot yesterday just to show this chart. I don't look at this that often, but when we need to, then I certainly will. And you can see that the T2122 is not over in the extended oversold area. We're just kind of bopping around here in the middle. It looks like it's trying to turn up. If this is something that somebody follows, we're kind of in that center area, so we can just watch this, how it works. You can also pretty much on days like this, unless we're way down here or way up here, you can watch just a general chart of the market, and it'll tell you really more than this will tell you where it is now. If T2122 is way down here, it gives you that oversold indication, and if it's up here, it gives you that overbought indication. Here's I want to show you this chart here too. T2123. I use this fairly often. It's actually on one of my charts, on one of my other monitors all the time, and I really like using it with the trend indicator here, because when it's like one of those confirmation type charts where I can confirm with the market. Generally, my market is the SPY. I can confirm with that. So, if I'm looking to buy a long chart, the truth is I look at this mostly on the hour and the 15-minute too. If I'm looking to buy a long chart and I glance over here and I see that we're still underwater, underwater would mean underneath those red dots, then I need to really justify why I want to buy this position. I really need to justify that. Uh, on the other hand, if it's good and green like this, then that just confirms what I'm looking at on this. So anyway, just one of those charts that I like to look at there. All right, let's take a look at a few charts here that I've got. Let's make that to the daily. There we go. OLLI, this is a rounded bottom breakout. This is the class that we'll be teaching, having a workshop on April 23rd. That's a Saturday at 10 a.m. in the morning Eastern. This will be a very typical chart that we'll be looking at, and also in a couple of different time frames. But here we have a chart that has been bottoming it down. It's been trending to the downside, and then it started to bottom right here. In this one's case, you can see this little inverted head and shoulders here, and then we've popped up. Moving averages have crossed up the 50-period moving average, and we may be headed toward that 200-period moving average. I don't have it on this chart, but I also use another 200-period moving average. I call it the dotted deuce, just arranged differently. I'll make sure I have it up here next time, or after the open, I'll get it put up on the chart. And what that does, it gives us a nice target. Sometimes about midway, not all the time. And more times than not, it actually will really point to a little bit of resistance over here. So OLLI is setting up. HBIO is another one that's setting up. Rounded bottom breakout here. From the T line to the 200, there's about 13% profit to be had on that. I'm not saying at all it can't go higher. This is just a specific strategy here. You can see that the 50-period moving average is starting to turn up. The trend indicator is nice and green right here. Price action, we start to break out. We could see some money up in this one. Some people are already in this, I think. Thank you. Tilray. I'm watching Tilray, some of the pot stocks. It's pulled back. What I'm watching for, it's not even remotely close to a buy for me at this point. But what I'm watching for is that entry maybe somewhere around this level, actually maybe even a little bit higher. This is also another one of these rounded bottom breakouts set up. So I just need that buy signal in there, and then I need it to confirm with maybe the trend indicator or the T line. I'm not trying to catch some trick bottom on here, but I want it on the watch list so I'm able to keep an eye on it without, otherwise I'll just forget about it. But if I put it on the watch list, then what happens is it's right in front of my face all the time, the LTA watch list. So I'll be able to catch that when that happens. And you know, with a buy around 7 maybe, 43% up to the 200-period moving average. I'm not saying that's where it's going to go, but that's part of that rounded bottom breakout strategy. So that's where I look at for a target. X, looking at X. X is going to have to give me a buy signal in here. Probably something in this area would be sufficient, above the T line and up here. While I don't want to make this my trade, so that means I don't have to buy it here. What I want to make my trade is an entry, and then I want the trade to continue. That's the trade that I want to look for right in here. Oracle's another one I'm shopping for, not even remotely close to buying it. But it's one of those rounded bottom breakouts setting up here. And from the 50 to the 200, almost 10%. So again, just going to wait for that buy signal in here. It looks like we're going to open up, about 80, 89, give or take a penny or two maybe. Again, just wait for that price action. I like it over the T line, and I certainly want that red dot to be green in here. All right, this is about all the time I have. Um, Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I appreciate it. Happy Friday to you. And we'll see you here in the trading room in just a few minutes. All right. You guys all take care. Appreciate it.